the COINTELPRO, right? So after that highlighted section I read, it said, is it not better to be a sports hero, a well-paid professional athlete or entertainer, or a regularly paid white or blue-collar worker, a peaceful human with a family, or a person who at least is being meant by, a person who is accepted than a Negro who may have got even with the establishment by burning it down, but who along with this burned down his own home and gained for him and all his people the hatred and distrust of the whites for years to come. So in layman's terms, they're telling you, hey, go be an athlete, go be an entertainer, go get a regular job. If you trying to get even with the establishment, we coming for you and your entire family and all your people that's close to you. This is the COINTELPRO. This is why no other race on the planet can talk to us about, man, we struggled too. We was enslaved. Y'all don't have no COINTELPRO. Where they trying to get your leaders out the way. They got the difference. They got immediate green lights on us, and any nigga that's arising with a conscience. Yeah, they did that with MLK. They did it with Malcolm X. They had their phones tapped. They threatened their family, bombing their house, and things like that.
Let me remind you of what your government is capable of when there's no oversight. This is a really important video, so I really hope you'll watch it through. COINTELPRO, it's an acronym. It means Counterintelligence Program. This is not ancient history. You or your grandparents most likely lived through this. And what the FBI did was more shocking than most people can remember. This was a program where the FBI forged letters, spread fake rumors, infiltrated churches and activist groups. They intimidated journalists. They tried to psychologically destroy some of the most effective civil rights leaders in the country. And none of this was conspiracy theory. This is documented line by line in their own files. When I say radicals, I don't mean people causing destruction. I mean the FBI's definition, which swept up civil rights organizers, students, ministers, anti-war advocates, Native American activists, women's rights groups, even journalists. In other words, people engaged in activities explicitly protected by the First Amendment. Inside that category, you had groups that chose different paths. Some leaned militant, sure, but many, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the SCLC, the SNCC, people like John Lewis, they were rooted in disciplined, strategic nonviolence. John Lewis called it good trouble or necessary troubles. The FBI called it subversion. I mean, that's the heart of COINTELPRO. It wasn't aimed at only violent extremists. It targeted large numbers of Americans who were simply demanding that their government live up to its promises. And the tools the FBI used went far beyond surveillance. They sent forged letters to break apart marriages. They planted informants to stir up internal fights. They manipulated employers, landlords, universities. Some of this sounded familiar. To push the activists out. They encouraged police departments to harass organizers who hadn't broken any laws. Sound familiar? They spread anonymous rumors to the press to ruin reputations. In some cases, they tried to push people towards unaliving themselves, like Dr. King. It's a documented fact. One FBI memo described the mission clearly: expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize. Another directive warned agents to prevent a rise of a messiah who could unify the civil rights movement. That's a quote. That's the government talking about American citizens. And yes, journalists were in the crosshairs too, not because they were violent, but because they were critical. The FBI watched reporters who questioned the Vietnam War or who uncovered corruption, who challenged the police misconduct, or who simply refused to print the government's preferred narrative. Sound familiar? Harassment meant surveillance, pressure on employers, strategic leaks to discredit them, and even nudging police to create legal troubles. Sound familiar? COINTELPRO also spanned 4 presidential administrations: Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixon. Okay? If it had been one president, you could blame ideology. If it had been one crisis, you could blame the moment. But the fact that it survived multiple administrations shows how hard it is to unwind the government machinery once secrecy becomes policy. I mean, look, Hoover didn't just run the FBI. He ran it for almost 50 years. And he used that power to shape domestic policy in ways the public never saw. 50 years. That's longer than a lot of us have been alive. And the only reason any of this came to light was because in 1971, a group of ordinary citizens broke into the FBI field office in Media, Pennsylvania, and stole the files and mailed them to the press. That's what it took to uncover the truth. Not internal oversight, not whistleblowers, not Congress, citizens breaking into an FBI office because every other guardrail had failed. That's the lesson. Power without oversight doesn't.
You already said sound familiar? Exactly. See, this devil got a target on niggas. Fuck all you hoes. You see? But you got dick sucking ass niggas. They believe in Babylon the Great. They believe in the mother of harlots. This evil, filthy, nasty, disgusting ass place. See? You see? You niggas are despicable, man. And he telling you front and center, Mr. White Man. This is the book of you see. This is the book of Second Maccabees. You see, Second Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. Second Maccabees, it's the book of Second Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. Now when the holy city was inhabited with all peace, you see, and the laws were kept very well. You dig, you know what I mean? You see, but that ain't the case nowadays, man. You got them small hats over there in our land perpetrating imposters. Believe that. You see, you know what I mean? Second Maccabees chapter 3. It's the book of Second Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. Now when the holy city was inhabited with all peace, you see, and the laws were kept very well. See, you know, because of the godliness of Ananias, the high priest, you see, and his hatred of wickedness. You see? And that's the same way we feel, man, about dick sucking ass, sellout ass, coon ass niggas, man. Your wickedness, your evilness, your wickedness. You niggas full of darkness. You see? You don't give a fuck about the Heavenly Father, man. This great, great, great gospel. You understand? You see?
Because they were heartbroken. They don't want to go anywhere. This is their home.
The Tyson plant gave us notice of a layoff procedure warn notice over a week ago. They'll be closing their facility as of January 20th, impacting 3,200 individuals for the community of Lexington. The general mood of the individuals coming in for our services, of course, is anxiety. What do I do next? Will I have a job? Where do I go? And what do I do from here? Tyson workers make up about 3,200 of the population of 11,000 of Lexington. And so they have a great impact upon the culture, schools, and everything that a community is comprised of.
We just hardworking people. What we do is go to work, come to church. That's all we do here.
These plants have been underutilized, and we have a shortage of cattle out there in the U.S., and because of that, very vulnerable that somebody might shut down. We have a very strong community in Lexington that really is close-knit and very accepting of the packing industry as well as all industries.
The Tyson plant gave us notice of a layoff procedure warn notice over a week ago. They'll be closing their facility as of January 20th, impacting 3,200 individuals for the community of Lexington. The general mood of the individuals coming in for our services, of course, is anxiety. What do I do next? Will I have a job? Where do I go? And what do I do from here? Tyson workers make up about 3,200 of the population of 11,000 of Lexington, and so they have a great impact upon the culture, schools, and everything that a community is comprised of.
I have 4 kids. My oldest is 21. I have one that is 13. I have one that is 11, and I have one that is 8. So when I told them, their reaction.
You heard what he said? You see, January 20th, if my ears wasn't deceiving me. You see, and that's right around the corner. That's a couple of weeks. 2026, you see? They getting rid of motherfuckers, man. Jobs decreasing. This place is crumbling, becoming crippled and brittle. You see? But y'all think it's a game. You heard they said we go to church. Praying to who? What God? What God you praying to? That's what's wrong with you. You dick-sucking ass niggas. You Latinos, Negroes, and Native Seminole descent. You see? That's what's wrong with you. What God? What God? You see? Like to say, call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All praise Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Halal, call Halal, call Elohim, call Elohim. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All praise Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shouts out Israelite foreigners, specular birds, you strangers that look like a Mr. Paleface, that look like an Edomite, that look like a red Hebrew Edomite. Peace and love to you, peace and love to you. Shalom, shalom, shalom to the 144,000, the elect, the women and men, children. It's going to make it to the kingdom. Double honors, apostles and elders and watchmen, servants and prophets, a great millstone. Who I learned the truth from only through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Call Elohim La, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. All praise to Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, brothers and sisters, was edified. He's on to the next one. Shalom.
Was to cry. They were mad, and I'm guessing that was just a reaction because they were heartbroken. They don't want to go anywhere. This is their home.
These plants have been underutilized, and we have a shortage of cattle out there in the U.S., and because of that, very vulnerable that somebody might shut down. Really, my heart was broken over the change of what it